YouTube, drama, golf. Quite a niche market, but apparently it is a thing and something that seems to be growing exponentially. So my name is Simon and I am filming from my home because that is where all the best golfing YouTube content seems to be being made at the moment. So I thought I'd give myself a go at it as well. Alexa, play some non-copyrighted background music.
I couldn't find any non-copyrighted background songs.
Story of my life. So to save myself from being a hypocrite, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to put any names in the title. I'm not going to put a picture in the thumbnail. I'm not going to tag anyone in this video, but I'm pretty sure the people that know that they're involved will be watching this video. And this probably hit home with probably a lot of YouTube golfers, if not PGA professionals in general, because that's kind of where the topic, I feel, or the problem potentially lies. Now, as a PGA professional myself, fully qualified, and having a YouTube golf channel, not a big one, small one, I feel like I have some kind of understanding why the community itself has never worked together. Let's be honest, arm wrestling on YouTube is growing at a faster rate than golf on YouTube, bearing in mind golf is the most played sport in the world. Surely that says something, even though I do love that arm wrestling channel. That is, that's pretty impressive. That Russian school kid's, yeah, he's a beast. Okay, so to go back on the topic of the PGA Pros and the history of golfing YouTube channels, majority have always been PGA Pros because they've done lessons, reviews, whatever it has been. They've got the knowledge predominantly, and people have always looked at YouTube to get that free advice and lessons. Fair enough, not an issue. However, this is when it got complicated. Bearing in mind, professional golfers are always competitive. They're always looking out for themselves because they want to win. You're turning up to a tournament to beat everyone else. You've learned that from a junior. You're playing county matches against other counties. You're playing against other golf clubs. So it's always been a non-team sport. And that's the way you're kind of driven into it. All the way into the 3 years or 7 years that I've been working in a pro shop, you're working for your head pro. You want to make sure everyone in the area is getting club fitted from you, coached from you. You are the best that anyone could possibly go to. That's your kind of your mentality, and it has to be. You have to be competitive. It is a very competitive game, and trying to be successful at golf in a pro shop as a golf coach is always difficult. And it's that same kind of psyche that you will see with the majority of YouTube golf channels. Now, as I said, not everyone has or is a PGA Pro when they're starting golf on YouTube, let's say. But YouTube itself is very much about you as a person, not about anyone else. It's a very selfish kind of sport, and you times that with the competitive nature of golf as well. I think that kind of lies why most golf YouTube channels don't work together or work together well. So this is probably one of the biggest things that I learned about myself, and bearing in mind YouTube's the best thing that I've ever done in my life. I've met so many great people, not say that because I've probably started this as more negative than I should. I've met Liam from Golf Vlogs UK, I've met Matt Fryer, I've met Rick Shields, I've met Alex Elliott, I've met Lloyd, I've met Brett, I've met Ollie Heath, and I've met so many great guys. Had a great laugh. Really likeable, really nice guys, and the similarities that you find in these people, because YouTube isn't for everyone. It's a difficult thing to do, to put a camera, speak to a camera, and you find so many similarities with these people. No question. So YouTube, in a bracket, if you do it, I have my utmost respect. Whatever you do with your YouTube channel, sometimes I won't agree with it, but I have the utmost respect. It's difficult, it's continuous, it's unrewarding at the majority of the times, but at the same time, there's glimpses of it that I've got to do stuff that I've never been able to do before. So I need to say that. That being said, YouTube, golf combined can be unhealthy, because to the point, and bearing in mind I am a big culprit of this, is that I had a list of pretty much all the golf YouTube channels, over 1,000 subs, somewhere around there, and I'm just monitoring of how well they're doing, how well they're growing, which videos are they doing well, can I copy that video? why is this doing well? Why is my one not doing well? It was unhealthy to the point that I'm resenting people when they're growing. And as soon as I start resenting them, then all of a sudden the negativity in that kind of side of it. Now, I know that other golfing YouTube channels do this as well, because the accusations that then fly out of you've done incredibly well, really fast for no reason, that like to dislike ratio is rubbish, why are you getting so many views? It is literally bonkers, and it is the most shallow thing to ever think about. But what you got to remember is that when you start this, you're investing an incredible amount of time, effort, money, to see relatively at the start little return. And bearing in mind that obviously my channel's small, I'm still getting stuff, which is great, but for the 200 odd videos that I've done, think about the time that's taken to obviously do that. It's very easy to get sucked in to that kind of resenting factor. That is why I feel that we've got to the point where we do not have a golf YouTube tournament. Why not? It's like the most simple, like we literally all work at golf courses that we could easily set up free. The exposure would be amazing, yet we don't do it because in terms of collaborations and the time, effort and everything else, it's just not worth it in terms of views and money. And that's the really awful thing to say, but that is basically where we're at, because collaborations are working with other people, and bearing in mind the majority of the time when you are doing YouTube, you are thinking how to grow, how to get more views, make content, because making the community that I have happy. And I'm probably one of the worst, especially over the last year, if you've been in my channel, I was chasing the views. I was chasing bearing in mind I've hardly made any money on YouTube, but you're still making some money. So I did a Titleist TS3 video last year when literally a picture came out, and I talked about this picture for 5 minutes, and it made me $80, which is like crazy amount of money, by the way, for YouTube. So that, just talking about it got horrendous likes and dislikes, but because I was getting views and gaining more subscribers and everything else, I was thinking that's the way to go, that's the way to do it. So I just kept going down that route. I did loads of videos on PXG clubs. I did, every time a picture came out of a potential release of a club, I started doing it. Again, like, dislike factor, really low. And this was the trend that I was doing. I was chasing the numbers, I was chasing my channel growing. The problem is that as soon as I started doing content that I enjoyed making, like I'm doing now, those numbers dropped, and it's difficult because you get into that cycle. And this is where the golf YouTube drama comes now, because you're using names of people and titles to get views. Without those names and titles, you wouldn't get the same. And it's difficult because now you're chasing that ever-present drama and vacuum to make content. And when you realise, like I did, that actually this isn't what I enjoy doing or making, you kind of haven't got a community that really wants to watch the stuff that you want to make, and it's the worst thing in the world. Next topic, reviews. This is probably a big one. In terms of the manufacturers as well, you put a title of a club that's just coming out, like I'm being the worst for this, and probably in the situation where I got into, in terms of I probably annoyed, even though I was getting views, I probably annoyed a lot more people that they will never watch my channel now because they're like, this is just clickbait, which it was. And I can admit that. But because I was getting views and more subscribers and my ad revenue was going up, all of a sudden you think, right, that's the meta. That's what I should be doing all the time. And that must have annoyed a lot of people. But reviews is a massive thing for golf YouTube channels. It's no question. You talk about a driver and it's going to get hundreds of thousands of views. You look at any golf YouTube channel, vlog, entertaining, hard work, shot tracers, music, nice stuff, entertaining. Hardly any views. Talk about a driver, hundreds of thousands of views. Because they're doing the marketing for us. They do the marketing. The launch comes out, the embargo date gets lifted, people are typing that in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you want to be in that list. And that's the competitive side again of YouTube golfers, is that the embargo lifts, you'll get annoyed at people that put videos out before the embargo date. You'll get people annoyed that they're not at the top 1, 2, 3 or 4 in terms of that, because that, again, that's views, again, that's subscribers and that's money. And that's kind of why, I mean, that's kind of the world anyway. Like, money's always going to complicate things, and people get annoyed if people are more successful or earning more money. And again, I feel like that's a lot where a lot of hate is at the moment, especially the bigger YouTube channels, because they're doing incredibly well and they're making a lot of money. And that's one thing that I've never kind of got. I've always been brought up that if you work incredibly hard, you're going to be successful, you're going to earn a lot of money, and doing tight list, tailor-made, Ping, Cobra reviews is going to make you money. There's no question about it. I think the thing that people don't necessarily understand, and why I don't think if you're a golf YouTuber you can necessarily hate on successful other golf YouTube channels, is because in hindsight that's what you want to do. I'd love to do this full time, nothing more. I've watched YouTube since I was very young, I've grown up with it, I love golf. The idea that I can just make videos on golf as a living would be incredible. So I think that's more of the community that sometimes feel like other YouTubers are sellouts, but it's just the way it is. It's the way they can pay the bills, it's the way they can make money. And bearing in mind, a lot of these channels have spent 7-8 years, and it's only been the last year or two that they've made an incredible amount of money. Like, before then, it was hardly anything. As I say, I've made like 200 videos, and I've seen a small return, which is great. And it's not necessarily, you can't do this for the money to start off with. If you chase the money in this, just give up. You can't do it. You can't put the time and effort into doing it. It's such a slow process. So when they get to that stage, I can don't understand why people can hate on people that are successful. But I can see they resent the life. All of a sudden, they're traveling to countries, they're earning a lot of money, and the highlight, and it's basically jealousy. That's all it is. But they haven't seen the hours that go into it. And I go back to the PGA Pro route. You spent 3 years working in a shop doing 30 to 40 hours a week. You're doing your degree, playing golf courses, doing your playing ability, doing your YouTube channel at the same time. Then everything outside of that, you've got then your gym and your partner and your life, and you've basically done that for 5 years to get to the stage where you are now. So it's an incredible amount of work, and you've got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you can't keep that up for that period of time. And I think that's why the drama is now starting on YouTube, is that they want to be there that quick, but it's not quick. It's a slow process, and you've got to earn it, and you've got to do it in a manner that is somewhat representable. I'm not saying you can't disagree with anyone on YouTube. That's not the point. I think it's a case of there's a way and understanding of doing it and everything else. Guys, that's my very quick view on the whole drama side of it. I want to stay as politically and out of it as possible, but at the same time voice my opinion, because I'm quite an opinionated person, but at the same time I'm not a hypocrite, and I've definitely done, said, and been a lot of this kind of growing period throughout my YouTube career. And I think the only way I can say by the end of this video, if you are a smaller channel than myself, if you're a bigger channel and you want to collaborate, you want my help, you want my advice, maybe you're starting a channel and you want to know how to get into it, leave me a message on Instagram. I want to be a part of the solution from now on, not necessarily a part of the problem. And yeah, hopefully one day we'll have this big golf YouTube tournament where everyone covers it. It'd be great exposure for the sport, great exposure for ourselves and YouTube golf community in itself. And I think that'd just be a cool thing for us to do as a community. Whether it ever happen or not, probably not. Anyway guys, thank you ever so much for watching. My name's Simon, I'll catch you guys later.